What's up, everybody? It's your boy Uncle Greg back at it with Something Out of Nothing, episode 3. We're going to talk about week 1 power rankings, what I believe is the top 10 teams that played well in week 1. Doesn't mean they're going to be playing well the rest of the year, but I do believe the top 5 think are going to stick around for a while. So we'll get into that. Following that, I'll give you my Thursday night pick where we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Washington Commanders. Battle of the NFC. Let's figure out what I believe is going to be the reason why whichever team wins. But first, let's get into the top 10. So at first, I believe Washington Commanders coming in. So Washington Commanders, it could have been a bevy of teams we went at number 10, but I felt like out of all the teams that were available for that spot, I think they're the best one. So at number 10, Washington Commanders being able to shut out that New York Giants offense and Russell Wilson getting less than 200 yards while also gaining 200 yards on the ground. Washington Commanders. Following that, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, didn't play too impressive against the Cowboys, but they still got the dub. We're still able to own the ground. And without their best defensive tackle, we're able to find a way to get the W. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens, the lone team that has caught the L in this top 10, but I felt like they played well enough to get in here. And of course, you saw the next pick, that is the Indianapolis Colts. I believe scoring on every possession that you touch the ball is impressive, no matter who you're playing against. So Daniel Jones looking like a dime in the rough. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, their defense, highly paid defense, I should say at that, didn't look too well against the Jets, but I think it was a case of Justin Field looking ready to get some revenge on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who kind of tossed them on the wayside. And Aaron Rodgers looks like they got a QB up there in Pittsburgh now. Now, can that defense click together after getting paid? We'll find out, but I do think they are in the top 6 for week 1. Following that, we have the LA Rams. Played pretty tough competition against the Houston Texans, but I felt like they did exactly what they wanted to do when they ran the ball. They were able to get the ball to Devontae and spread out the Houston Texans defense and get that dub. So I felt like they were worthy enough of competition and they got a good W. So that's them at 5. Following that, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in. And I feel like Baker Mayfield, his weapons that he's got, Bucky Irvin in the backfield, they're gonna be able to do something, I think, in the NFC South. So in my opinion, top 4 in week 1. Struggle a little bit against Atlanta, but I think Atlanta might be better than people think. And of course, divisional games, you never know. But right now, Tampa Bay at number 4. Following that, got the Chargers coming in. Chargers played really well against the Chiefs. They were able to do what they wanted to do on offense. That Chiefs O line did not protect Pat Mahomes well. Seemed like he had to get the ball out really fast. The Chargers were stacking the box, not just to stop the run. I felt like they were trying to dare Pat Mahomes to throw the ball. When I looked at the NFL All 22 film, the times that he did, it seemed like he was just trying to get rid of the ball after getting pressure in his face. So, Chargers, good job down in Brazil. And following that, we have the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills making that crazy comeback against the Baltimore Ravens. And in all honesty, they could have probably swapped if it was the result from the other side. But guess what? Buffalo came out on top with Josh Allen throwing the cape on his back like he seems to do in the regular season. Buffalo Bills at number 2. And last but not least, I feel the most complete team in the NFL. That is the Green Bay Packers. Adding Micah Parsons, as long as he gets more reps, more time in with them, it's going to be only better. He's going to be able to close out games for Green Bay. They got a good quarterback with Jordan Love. They got a good receiving core that he's growing with. They got Josh Jacobs, one of the most elusive runners at the line of scrimmage in the game for a decade plus now. Green Bay Packers, I don't think they're going to slide out the top 5 for the rest of the year, but we'll see. Right now, these are my top 10 rankings for week 1. Now, let's give you my pick for a Thursday night football game. All right, so we are dealing with two of the most heavy run teams. Green Bay ran the ball 53% of the time week one, while Washington Commanders ran it 49% of the time. Green Bay only got 78 yards from that, while the Washington Commanders got 220. So you got to take in their opponent. I believe Green Bay played the Detroit Lions, who have a pretty good defensive line. So I get that's why they didn't run the ball well, but they did run it at a high rate. So I don't think that's going to stop either team from running the ball. Let's figure out which team is better at stopping the run. So let's go take a look. Rushing, run defense, rush yards per play. All right, so these are the worst. Let's go to the best. All right, so this is team defense. So the best at stopping the run. Ooh, we got Green Bay at number 3 with 2.1 yards allowed. But look at that. Who's in the top 10 as well? 3.2 for the Washington Commanders. So what will give? Whose run game will succeed? Whose defense will fold? Honestly, I'm going to have to roll with Green Bay as I have them as the top dog in my power rankings for week one. If the Washington Commanders get the dub, I will not be shocked, but they'll be definitely moving up on the rankings if they do. All right, y'all. You let me know down below what you think. Am I wrong? Is my top 10 tripping? You let me know what's up. Make a case for your team down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you had to say. I can conversate and go back and forth. Don't think about it as an argument, just as two people who love sports sharing some ideas. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 3, Something Out of Nothing. We'll be back with more of a week 1 recap, a little look ahead to week 2. All right, y'all. See you next time.